Welcome to the ChargePoint podcast, brought to you by Flexecharge, your gateway to the future of EV charging. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of EV infrastructure, offering insights and perspectives from industry leaders, innovators, and the people at the forefront of deploying charging solutions and networks. Join us to explore the exciting developments that are accelerating our world towards sustainable mobility.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this second episode of the ChargePoint podcast. I'm Christoph from Flexecharge. A few weeks ago, part of our team, including our three co-founders, spent 3 days at our booth at Power2Drive, one of the world's biggest trade shows for renewable energy, storage and e-mobility. While the team was busy demonstrating Harmony, our advanced load and energy management platform, and discussing potential pilot project with CPOs from all over Europe, I had the pleasure of exploring the show. I scouted for innovative companies and solutions that could benefit CPOs and charging professionals, capturing a series of short interviews with some of the most inspiring exhibitors. During the trade show, we also hosted our first 2 tech talks at our booth. In these sessions, our CTO and co-founder, Robert Braham, engaged with guests to discuss specific technology-related topics. We'll dive deeper into these talks later in the podcast. But for now, let's jump into the series of short interviews. Enjoy.
Hey, I'm Christian Mascarenhas, and I'm heading the marketing for DesignWerk Technologies AG. We are a Swiss company, and we do kind of everything in the e-mobility sector for commercial vehicles. So we actually cover the driving, we cover the charging, we cover the storage, and we even do our own engineering and develop also for other companies electric vehicles, electric concepts. That's what we do. And we are kind of a specialist. We are a specialist for the niche because we do everything what the big companies don't do. So we customize, especially on our e-trucks, we customize everything to the request of the customer. We are here at the Power2Drive, and actually it's the first time after a couple of years that we are back again with our charging solutions. And we are back because we have 2 huge messages to tell. The one is really that we are launching a new mobile charger with 88 kilowatt charging performance. And it's so special because it's really compact. So you can still move it yourself. It's on a little roll, so it's transportable, it's movable, and still has quite a big charging power. And the other one is even bigger. Imagine you have like a power bank for a mobile, but imagine this power bank is on steroids, and it's just huge, and it's a battery buffered mega charger. So you can, on the one side, store 2 megawatt of energy in it, and on the other side, charge extremely fast megawatt charge with 1.4 megawatt. So this is a solution where we see right now a lot of requests coming in, a lot of demand, and are happy that actually we saw it today and yesterday, and it's the perfect platform here at Power2Drive to present something like this. And we even got an award for this just 2 days from Smarter E, from the platform. It's the Smarter E award for in the category of electric mobility. So for this mega charger, we call it the stationary battery-backed charger. Our target groups and what we found most interesting are transport logistic companies who are not willing actually to wait for the central infrastructure, charging infrastructure. So they are getting on their own feet, and they are trying to get now on with e-mobility. They are starting to stuff their own areas with these mega chargers. And we even have customers now who are talking to their competition and ask, hey guy, you can charge on my area if I can charge on you. And these are competing companies. So we see that they are just, initial and kind of ambitious to get the whole thing going. They have, of course, a lot of pressure here in Europe with the CO2 emission legal framework. So they are trying to do something and move forward. There are two really key advantages of this mega charger. The one is that you can make yourself a little bit independent from the power grid, from the public power grid. Doesn't matter why you want to become dependent. It could be on the one side that the power grid isn't strong enough and you don't have the strong energy that you need there. Then you can basically store the energy that you need for high power charging or for megawatt charging for the trucks, or can make you also independent. Of course, you actually produce your own power. If you have like photovoltaic on the roof, you want to use that photovoltaic when your trucks are in. So probably that's during the night, or you want to use it when you need it, actually, maybe between two shifts on lunchtime. But you can't wait that the sun is out or whatever. So this is a chance for you to store the energy and keep it stored for when you need it, actually, opportunity charging. So it's like a petrol stations that you can actually charge whenever you want, how much you want.
Hello, my name is Huschmann. I'm responsible for the DACH region in sales. And I'm working for the ADS-TEC Energy. ADS-TEC is a technology company focused on storage systems. We started in 2007 with a normal storage system, container system, outdoor-indoor storage system. And since 2017, we headed into the charging business, where our USP is the battery buffered system, where we use a small grid input to get with battery buffered systems output of 300 kilowatt. We are here at the Power2Drive for presenting our new features with our Charge Post, for example, where we want to give or enable our CPO customers to use many different business models to get a return on your investment. For example, a roof system, advertising screen, and putting back energy to the grid in Europe. So in the battery buffered charging branch, we have two systems. We have to start with the charge box, where we separated the storage from the normal charge pole. And we have the possibility to use this system also in small capacity of space. So small parking lot, gas and oil stations, for example. And the other system, the Charge Post, is a system where we combine everything in one place. And with both systems, we use systematic, where we first use the input capacity of the net, and only the difference between the charging curve of the vehicle and the grid is buffered by the battery. So you have the big advantage with our system. If the charging curve of the EV is going beneath your grid connection, you will simultaneously charge a vehicle and recharge your battery.
I'm Joan Leal. I work at iCharging. iCharging is a Portuguese company. We are located in the beautiful city of Porto. Not only our head office, but also our production. And we are focused on manufacturing DC charging stations, starting from 50 kilowatt up to 900 kilowatts. And we are literally global players. So we have chargers from North America to South America, in Europe, in Australia, in Asia, all over the world. We are this year here in the Power2Drive presenting our Blueberry Fusion, which is a 150 kilowatt DC charger with two plugs, which entered in the middle of our range. It was kind of customer expectation or desire that we added another charger into our Blueberry range, Blueberry being the name of our charging stations. And we are starting to tease our megawatt charging system, which is going to be presented in the EAA in September here in Germany. Some of the things that make it special compared to other companies is it's being designed from the scratch to be an MCS charger. It's not something that's being adapted to MCS. No, it's 1500 volt. It's 1000 amps in the start. It's really a new product that's being launched into the market. We work with a lot of different companies around the world. For example, it's known that we work with Power2Drive, which is one of the biggest networks that in France, and not only. We have a very tight collaboration with Swarco, with work in England and so on, and the rest of the world. So we could literally spend hours talking about iCharging and the products, and we wouldn't end.
Hello, my name is Victor Hernando. I'm a DC product manager in Circontrol, which is a Spanish company. We are based in Barcelona. And well, we are AC and DC chargers producer, not only producer of chargers, also we are giving values like solutions for charging, like DLMs, OCPP platforms, and so on. Okay. It's not the first time that we come to Power2Drive. I think it's 5 times that we already come to Power2Drive. Well, we want to introduce our new DC chargers here in Power2Drive. We have a new dual DC 80 kilowatt chargers and also a dual 240 kilowatt chargers. We are addressing to charge point operators like electrical companies, giving our solutions like DC and AC chargers. And they are very, very interested, especially now with the DLM, dynamic load management systems, solar, battery charging systems, that kind of solutions. This is what Circontrol basically is focused now in. Today, we are providing solutions for Iberdrola, especially Endesa, which are big companies now in Spain. A2A, for example, in Italy is our other big CPO that we are using normally.
My name is Denise Feierabend. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager for EVbox. EVbox is a charging hardware manufacturer from the Netherlands, produced locally in Europe. The AC products are produced together with Jabil in Poland. So these products we're producing in France. Plus, we do have our own backend as well, so we try to offer a full solution to the customers. We're here at Power2Drive this year to display that we can fulfill every need that the customer might have, especially with DC for the public charging in Germany as well, because we do have both our products iCharge certified. Therefore, we do offer very high quality solutions, very easy to install, very, very high European quality. EVbox does have very good product, especially in the DC segment for charge point operators, because they're very reliable. We have a very high uptime of 99.8%. We do offer the full range from 90 kilowatt to 400. So also for the big topic truck charging, we do have a solution, and so far very good feedback from charge point operators, like, for example, Fastnet in Amsterdam, where we have, I believe, 4 DC stations at the moment, trying to expand sooner than later.
I'm Hauke from Levl Energy. We founded Levl Energy just beginning of the year. We are developing an aggregation platform for small-scale flexibility. We want to start with assets which are pretty small. We start at 50 kilowatt, so an EV. So we can aggregate one EV and trade it for you. So our aim is to give every owner of flexibility the entrance to the energy market, and that is basically it. So for CPOs mainly, today you don't have entrance to energy market. Everybody's waiting for bidirectional trading, and we can start today with small assets, and with unidirectional trading, we can optimize the charging price and make a better world for tomorrow together. So what we are building is a platform, an aggregation platform, where you can connect any kind of flexible assets. This can be an EV, this can be a whole fleet, for example. This can be also an energy storage or a heat pump. We don't care. And then we aggregate it to one huge virtual power plant, and then we trade the virtual power plant for you. So you don't need to care about anything. You just give us the asset, and we trade it for you. That is the value proposition of Levl. Technically means that we need a step into the asset. We need access to the asset, and we are doing this with partners. That is why we're talking here together. because other companies need to give us the entrance. They need to do the optimization on site. And we are solving then the issue in the energy field. We are doing all energy services, the regulations behind it. That is what Levl is, and that is what we need for a stable and energy-proofed, future-proofed future. Yeah.
Here's Marcus. I'm the director of Autel EV charging solution. Autel is EV charging manufacturer, so we provide the all range of chargers from AC to DC, from 7 kilowatts up to 640 kilowatts, and also we provide MCS as a special offer at this time for the Power2Drive. For Power2Drive, we are focusing on the DC charger solutions, especially for the high power provided to customer, and also for the trucks, the MCS. That's a new solution for customer. That's why we want to introduce more solutions on this part for the customer, especially for the OEMs. A lot of customers come to us to visit all our chargers, especially for DC chargers. They have some new ideas about, for example, the integration with solar energy and also for the batteries. So we do some customized solutions for customer. For the CPOs, actually, we have provided them add values, like if they want something new for customized solutions, we always provide to our customer this opportunity and the chance for them to do the customization solutions. Like if they want customized post machines or customized software or the interface on the charger, we are always open for them. So, because normally this is all standard process for other EV charger manufacturers, but we are special on that part.
Albina Iljasov from XCharge. I'm head of Europe at XCharge Europe. XCharge is a white label manufacturer. We are doing only the DC, HPC, and the DC charger with integrated battery storage. So our range starts with 60 kilowatt. That's our baby charger, the smallest charger, so to say, and all the way to 400 kilowatts. We are since 2015 on the market, so we know the market very, very well.
We're at Power2Drive this year with three main products, the Net Zero series, the C7, and our newest member of the family is the C7 Slim, which is, so to say, the small brother of the C7. Just as it says, it's a slim version, and with 240 kilowatt output instead of 400 kilowatt as the C7.
And we are developing our products based on the feedback from the market, from the customers that we are having. And for example, the Net Zero series, it's a DC charger with integrated battery storage. We made it for a specific use case for locations where you don't have enough grid connection. You need only low input, and you can charge up the battery and then provide still high power charging, even though your location is not suitable for that. The Net Zero series is specifically made for this, and we are helping the charge point operators to electrify locations that are actually very difficult to electrify, right? For example, supermarket chains, they cannot extend the grid connection there. They don't have maybe the space to put a trafo station. They don't have the expertise to do the electrification for a really large parking area. And at the same time, also gas stations that and the CPOs that provide charging infrastructure at gas stations and along the highways. A lot of them also don't have the opportunity to do the grid extension. So Net Zero series is a very good option for this. We have in Spain and Portugal quite a few installations already together with ADP and Wanea. There's a few others I'm not allowed to name at the moment yet. Exactly. But you'll see quite a few of them around. And the first installation in Germany is actually with Vattenfall together at the supermarket chain, the Familia supermarket chain.
On the first day of the trade show, we hosted our first tech talk live at our booth. We invited Stefan Ackmann, the EV charging lead at Pixie, a leading manufacturer of stationary batteries with whom we closely collaborate. He joined our CTO and co-founder Robert Brame for an insightful discussion on how battery integration can help overcome grid connection, power challenges, and unlock new revenue streams for CPOs. They also shared perspectives on the future of battery-boosted EV charging. We apologize for the sound quality of this recording. Capturing a live tech talk proved to be more challenging than anticipated. Let's listen in on how it all unfolded.
Welcome to our tech talk today here at the Power2Drive in Munich. We are really happy to be here. It's a bit hot, but I've heard that in one of the other halls it's even worse, so we'll survive. We were gonna talk today about battery integration for charge point operators. That's quite a hot topic right now. We as a load and energy management platform hear that a lot from our customers, so we get more and more requests from charge point operators for battery integration. And as a guest today, I have my colleague from Pixie, battery manufacturer, Steffen Ackmann. Maybe you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, I'm quite happy to be here, not only because in the hall is extremely hot. I'm not sure if the aircon is working, but it's very nice to be here and having this tech talk, so thanks for the invitation. My name is Steffen. I work in Pixie, and my responsibility in Pixie is in sales, and I work mainly with CPO customers, or with customers who are investing in charging infrastructure and facing grid constraints, and use the batteries to do not only the peak shaving to provide more power to the EV chargers or to the HPCs, but also use the batteries for value stacking, use the batteries as a flexibility in your assets to participate in different markets and have the power, not only for the EV chargers, but also for additional revenue streams. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, thanks, Steffen. So, as I said, what we are seeing right now in very many countries in Europe. I have been in the Netherlands 2-3 weeks ago, participating at the Arnhem Electricity Week, and I was talking to quite a many people. And basically, what was common sense is that the grid is completely overloaded in the Netherlands. Charge point operators, they really struggle to get grid connection, or if they get grid connection, they don't get the power they actually need to provide charging or to install the charging infrastructure. I've heard the same from many customers the last weeks, specifically in Norway, also in Sweden, Denmark. We have customers, they want to set up new infrastructures where they actually ask for a grid connection of 2,500 amps, but they only get 1,600. So how can that problem be solved? That is basically with the batteries. Yeah? So you install a stationary battery, and with the stationary battery, you can provide peak shaving, so you can serve times when there's high demand with the battery, and later on you recharge the battery when there's less demand at the grid connection point. However, integrating batteries is a challenge. It's a technical challenge, basically. What we have learned when we started talking to Pixie is that the integration of the battery with the charging stations is something which has to be done either from the battery side, so from the battery manufacturer, from Pixie, or it has to be done from the charging station manufacturer. And we could see that actually created quite a lot of bottlenecks, where CPOs were actually waiting for charging station manufacturers to integrate with a specific battery, or battery player were waiting for a charging station manufacturer to get the thing going. So Steffen, when did we meet the first time? I can't remember. How did it come that we are standing here together and talk about the integration of Flexecharge and Pixie?
That's a good question, actually. So to remember, I think it was end of last year, there was a CPO reaching out to Pixie because it was facing the same struggles like you just mentioned. Grid constraints, not enough power for boosting the HPCs. In addition, we had some challenges with already existing charging infrastructure. That the existing power was drawn from 2 buses simultaneously, and the peak within half an hour totally ruined his business case for the full year. So he reached out to us and asked us if it's possible to use a Pixie battery to do some peak saving. And based on this, he brought us into contact, right? So it's one of your already existing customers and asked us to build a contact with you. And we just gave you a call and invited you to our office in Darmstadt, where we have one of our power shapers installed and commissioned. And we made a kind of hands-on or training, disassembled everything, went into the web interface, and you were quite happy with our integration possibilities via MQTT, because that's also something you are supporting, and which is also in line with our modular approach. And I think that's how it started, and it's quite a journey. So we are almost on a weekly basis in discussion about new opportunities we could realize together, talking not only about DC chargers, but also megawatt charging infrastructure, which was a hot topic last week. Let's hope it will be realized, but we will see. And I think that's how we came into contact, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's true. So let's come back to the technical side of things a bit later. I would like to talk a bit about the challenge for integrating batteries into charging infrastructures. So how do you see it? I had a meeting with one of our customers basically last week, and for him the core question was, I mean, technically we can solve it. We come back to that, but the sizing. I mean, I think that's a hot topic. I'm not sure we have solved it, but how do customers approach you when you have a charge point operator? He has let's say you want to set up a charging infrastructure, or he has an existing charging infrastructure which he wants to where he wants to add a battery. So do you get in discussions with the customer to give him some guidance on what size of battery is needed per site?
Yeah, so what we did in Pixie is we developed a calculator. It's something we can use to consult the sizing of the batteries. And this calculator takes into account the charging profile. So we asked the customer for a charging profile of the last month or year. And we are trying to build up some figures and some estimations on a forecast how the EV penetration will develop in the next years. Everything is based on forecasts, so you have to rely on forecasts, which is quite difficult in EV charging and in EV adoption actually in each country. But it's something we have developed, and it's like in a prototype status. Very much depends not only on the forecast of the EV adoption and your plans for rolling out new charging infrastructure on the same site, the existing site. It also depends on how attractive is this specific site for customers. Like, can you enable the site to get more traction from the customers by building up some grocery stores, or have additional services you can offer to your customers? So there are many screws you can screw on to make this decision, but it very much depends on forecasts and experience.
Yeah, that's interesting. And as I said, it's one of the core questions they have to ask themselves, and then of course they also have to make a decision on the size. But the other thing, which I mean, the forecast fine. But how is it from the business perspective, commercially? Can you also provide some information? What commercially that there needs to be a turnover point where you say, okay, either I take more grid connection or I integrate a battery. So you have maybe some examples from the commercial side of things.
Yeah, I can share some details on the project I'm working on since already 1 year now, because I was a customer in Austria.
Yeah.
And this customer has a challenge, or he wanted to investigate into batteries and see how and if the batteries can use his existing charging infrastructure. And this challenge started in last year, April or May last year. And until today, we have not found the perfect site where the grid connection is so weak and the grid operator is kind of working around different solutions to use the batteries to upgrade the grid. So it's, as mentioned, very much depends on the site and also on if it's even possible to build up the grid. So many of our customers, they prefer building up the grid, of course, because you have the power available for 4 hours, and use the battery as a fallback scenario if it's not possible to have some grid upgrade or if it's too expensive to have a grid upgrade. And when it comes to using batteries for charging infrastructure, we like to always emphasize that these batteries could be also used to gain additional revenue from the additional business cases. So it's not only about peak shaving and using the batteries to reduce the grid tariffs. It's about how can I combine my asset with a very clever way to activate different revenue streams. One of them is quite simple, but needs to be done, is to participate in the energy trading. So something you can do, you can use the battery as an asset, charge the battery when the price is low, and use the batteries to discharge and charge the cars when the prices are high, and you get some additional revenue streams. Same can be done by participating in the ancillary services, or use the batteries as a virtual power plant to balance your energy pool. In German, it's called Bilanzkreis. It's in the balancing market in English. So you can do various things with the batteries, and you can use the battery, or you can see the battery not only as an asset which reduces your costs, but you can also see the battery as an asset which gains some profit. And that's something people need to be educated on, that it's possible to use the battery and also the charging infrastructure. I mean, you can also use the chargers in the cars to participate in the ancillary services. So when you do it in a smart way, and when you're clever enough to combine all these different revenue streams, we saw some calculations that it's possible to have a return of invest on the batteries within 5 years. And that's reasonable, I think.
Yeah. Actually, nice answer. My next question would have been actually about I call it secondary use cases, because from our perspective, when the CPO approaches us, the first sort of application for the battery is always peak shaving. Yeah? But I think nowadays they are pretty much aware, specifically in Scandinavia, where I would say the whole market for ancillary services, FCR and so on and so forth is way more ahead than in Central Europe. We hear that a lot. So that's nice. So I think that part is clear. Commercially, yes, it is really always, I mean, there's no so one sort of answer what the battery size should be. It's always specifically about the utilization. It's about the perspective in the future is looking into the charging profiles. Now, when we started our talk, I was already saying in my introduction that there's a challenge right now, or there has been a challenge so far with integrating batteries into charging infrastructures, and so how can that be solved? That is by integrating the battery and the chargers to a common platform, and that could be, or is in our case, the Flexecharge platform. So we are integrating the battery, and at the same time, we can connect any charging station to the Flexecharge Harmony platform. And through that, implicitly, every charging station which you can buy in the market, which is OCPP compatible, being integrated with the Pixie battery. So how are your customers taking that? Since we have our integration is now half a year, 5-6 months, I think, since we have done it or have finished it. So what is the feedback from your customers since then, when you tell them?
So the feedback from the customers is that they actually appreciate that it's possible to have all different chargers combined with the batteries. That it's possible to deploy the batteries and have a standardized setup of assets. So that's something we experienced in our discussions, that most of the customers don't want to be the guinea pig when it comes to building up charging sites. Usually they decide for a charger, for a brand of a charger. They have management system inside, for instance, the Harmony platform for XCharge, and then they want to extend their portfolio with battery. And the first question is surprisingly not commercially, but the first question is always, does it work? How can you confirm that it will work? And since we made the integration, we are quite confident that we can offer a very good solution to them.
Yeah, I would agree. We can provide a very good solution. So I don't think there's much more to say right now. Maybe a bit view into the future. So what do you see in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and specifically for charge point operators and battery integration? So where is all that going? And then also very interesting, because I know the two of us, we talked about it last week, about megawatt charging, truck charging. I mean, if you imagine, if somebody knows how the truck parking sites at the Autobahn look nowadays, I think we're going to have quite some challenges there. So how do you see that in the future?
So our view in Pixie, when it comes to the future of EV charging, or the combination of battery storage system with EV charging, is that there will be more and more CPOs and customers, of course, that want to combine different use cases. They, of course, have to build up the charging sites. There are many incentives that they have to build it up. The EV adoption in heavy vehicle transportation will ramp up quite fast, and it's not like that it will come at some time, it's already there. So there are many companies investing in electric trucks, especially for hubs and stationary charging infrastructure. Our view in the future is that these companies need to address different markets with the batteries, and that they also have to combine different sites together in a virtual power plant and use the whole capacity you have to get the best out of your charging infrastructure. That's how we see the future, and we think, or we are quite confident about this, that many countries will face the same issues Netherlands is facing today. So the grid constraints, they will come everywhere. There's in Germany, eastern part of Germany, there's a community where it's not even allowed to build new heat pumps. So it's very controversial in Germany that the government rejects new gas stoves and wants to have more heat pumps installed in residential households. But at the same time, there are DSOs which are not able to offer some additional grid power. And how should you heat your houses when you do not have the power? So it comes more and more relevant in the future to have batteries, decentralized batteries, to stabilize the grid, and at the same time use the batteries for additional assets, like the charging infrastructure.
Yeah, thanks for that overview. I completely agree. And while you were talking, another question slipped into my mind, which we were discussing yesterday. That is about, you see, maybe it's a challenging question for you. That there's quite a trend now with DC battery integrated DC chargers, and we were just like, I think it was in the taxi yesterday, we're debating about the pro and contra about when would it be beneficial for CPO to install battery integrated DC charger, and at which point it actually makes sense to integrate stationary batteries. I guess that's a question for you, because you will get that probably quite often, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a challenging question. Thank you. So actually, what I think personally is that the integrated solutions with batteries and charger in one cabinet are a very nice fit for areas where you have space constraints. So especially in urban areas when there's not enough space to build up stationary batteries, you usually don't want to extend your charging infrastructure in the next years. So for some customer segments with space constraints or with limited space to building up assets, and when it's totally clear from day one that there will be 2 charging points and that's it, because I do not have enough space for parking bays or for the chargers itself, then it makes totally sense to have batteries integrated with the charger. But when it comes to forecasting the charging infrastructure, if you want to extend the charging infrastructure on existing sites, if you want to use the batteries as a decentralized solution to boost different chargers, not only one charging point, but different chargers, then you should usually go with stationary batteries as a public.
Yeah, I think that was my final question. You mentioned in one of the earlier answers, you mentioned VPP. That's another hot topic cooking right now with Flexecharge, at least where we integrate batteries and chargers and aggregate into virtual power plants. That should be a topic for one of our next tech talks. We will bring that up in the next weeks. That was nice, Steffen. I think we got a lot of questions answered, and well, let's see. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the Power2Drive here. Yeah, it was nice talking to you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and likewise. Good game today.
On the second day of the trade show, we hosted our second Tech Talk live at our booth. This time, Robert invited Eugenio Cavaliere from SAE IT Systems for a discussion on how CPOs can stay compliant with the challenging German grid regulations, specifically the infamous VDE AR N4100 and 4110. The talk was in German, so if Goethe's language isn't your strong suit, feel free to fast forward to the last 45 seconds of the episode. For your information, a video recording with subtitles in English is available on our website and YouTube channel. Viel Spaß beim Zuhören.
Tech Talk 2.0 auf der Power2Drive am Flexecharge Stand. Wir werden heute über das Thema Verteilnetzbetreiber Integration sprechen, Herausforderungen für Ladeinfrastrukturbetreiber, Lösungen. Und da habe ich mir heute hier Verstärkung geholt von den Experten, Firma SAE IT Systems, Eugenio Cavaliere. Vielleicht möchte ich ja mal vorstellen.
Ja, mein Name ist Eugenio Cavaliere. Ich bin von der Firma SAE IT Systems. Wir sind Betreiber von Fernwegtechnik. Das machen wir schon seit 50 Jahren. Unser Stammsitz ist in Köln. Und ja, arbeiten ganz eng mit Energieversorgern zusammen. Das sind eigentlich unsere Hauptkunden, die unsere Fernwegtechnik einsetzen. Und da eigentlich auch im Verbund. Das heißt also, wir machen nicht nur Strom, sondern auch Wasser, Gas, Fernwärme. Also alles, was das Thema Fernwegtechnikübertragung zum Leitsystem betrifft.
Ja, jetzt wissen wir ja, in Deutschland gibt es ja nicht so wenig Verteilnetzbetreiber.
Ich glaube, ich habe mal so gehört 800 um den Dreh. Also das ist schon eine ziemliche Hausnummer. Also die Verteilnetzbetreiber sind ja eure Kunden. Was habt ihr da an Market Share in Deutschland?
Ja, ich würde mal sagen, dass wir so 60% Marktanteile haben in Deutschland.
Ja.
Zwischen 60 und 70%.
Ja, also zwischen 60-70%.
Ja.
Aber das sind dann also energieelektrisches Verteilnetz.
Genau.
Ja? Ja, okay.
Also Energieversorger, die im Verbund sind, weil ein Energieversorger macht ja nicht nur Strom, sondern hauptsächlich auch oder Strom, Gas, Wasser, Abwasser, Fernwärme. Das sind die meisten Stadtwerke bei uns in Deutschland, die im Verbund das Ganze organisieren. Es gibt aber natürlich auch die großen, zum Beispiel eine E.ON, die natürlich nur im Strombereich dann tätig ist. Das ist natürlich auch ein großer Kunde von uns, mit dem wir auch sehr, sehr viel zusammenarbeiten.
Ja, aber jetzt mal ein bisschen Thema, wir sprechen ja über Ladeinfrastruktur, Integration, Charging Hubs in die Verteilnetze. Ist das ein Thema bei euch? Wird das, also kommen eure Kunden auf euch zu, aktiv mit Anfragen oder wie sieht das auf eurer Seite aus?
Ja, da kommen jetzt mittlerweile sehr viele Kunden auf uns zu, gerade die großen. Also gerade auch die ENBW zu nennen, das ist ein sehr großer. Und da haben wir auch schon etliche Projekte mit der ENBW realisiert und setzen unsere Fernwegtechnik dort erfolgreich ein.
Ja, von unserer Seite ist das ähnlich. Also wir sind ja Lastenergiemanagement-Anbieter für Ladeinfrastrukturbetreiber, technische Betreiber, aber auch kommerzielle Betreiber. Und also das ist so in den letzten 6 bis 12 Monaten aufbekommen, insbesondere im Zusammenhang mit den Deutschlandnetzausschreibungen, dass die Kunden kommen und zu uns kommen und fragen, naja, seid ihr denn VDE 4100, 4110, 4105 compliant? Und bei uns ist es ja so, wir bieten ja für den Kunden das Lastenergiemanagement. Also wir sorgen dafür, dass an einem Netzanschlusspunkt eine bestimmte Wirkleistung nicht überschritten wird, sodass der Netzanschlusspunkt nicht überlastet wird. Und wie gesagt, wir bekommen jetzt diese Anfragen zur VDE 4100, 4110 Compliance. Kannst du ein bisschen was zu diesen VDE Normen, Richtlinien sind es ja sagen?
Ja, es ist halt äußerst schwierig, diese Richtlinien genau umzusetzen, weil jeder Energieversorger bei uns in Deutschland macht es natürlich anders. Die Anforderungen waren, bestimmte Informationen von einer Trafostation zu übertragen ins Leitsystem, die dem Energieversorger wichtig sind. Das sind Standardthemen oder Standardinformationen, die der Energieversorger haben will. Aber es gibt noch viele, viele andere Bereiche, also Messwerte, digitale Eingänge, digitale Ausgänge, die immer noch in jeder einzelnen TAB von jedem Energieversorger festgelegt wird. Und da muss man sich mit jedem Energieversorger abstimmen. Es gibt keinen Standard. In der 4110, also wir sprechen hier grundsätzlich für die 4110, weil die 4105, das sind ja Anlagen bis 135 kW. Ich glaube, in dem Bereich sprechen wir ab 135 kW bei der 4110. Da sind leider die TABs alle unterschiedlich.
Ja. Ja, und das ist genau das Thema. Die TABs sind alle verschieden und das sind genau die Herausforderungen, die unsere Kunden haben. Ja, die bekommen von jedem, also ein nationaler Player, Ladeinfrastrukturbetreiber, der Ladeinfrastruktur im Deutschlandnetz ausrollt, ja, wird damit, ich weiß nicht, wie vielen Verteilnetzbetreibern zu tun haben.
800.
Ja, 800. Aber mein Kollege, ich sage das immer meinen Kollegen, und ich sage, das sind 800 verschiedene, aber der Kollege sagt, ja, das sind aber keine 800 verschiedenen technischen Lösungen. Wie ist das? Wie viel sind es wirklich? Also sind es wirklich, kocht jeder seine eigene Suppe?
Also bei den 800 sind natürlich nicht 800 große Energieversorger betroffen. Also sind die ganz kleinen Energieversorger ab 5000 Einwohner,
Stadtwerke,
kleine Stadtwerke bis ganz große Verteilnetzbetreiber. Die Kleinen richten sich schon nach der THB der Großen. Aber tatsächlich ist es so, es gibt vermutlich sehr, sehr viele THBs. Und es knüpfen sich die Kleinen an die Großen an, schreiben deren THBs gleich, setzen auch die Informationen um, die die großen Energieversorger benötigen und kommen die gleichen Anfragen auch an uns ran mit den THBs. Aber grundsätzlich ist es schon so, dass die THBs sehr vielseitig vorhanden sind, also vielfältig vorhanden sind.
Ist es so, dass ihr auch, also Ladeinfrastrukturbetreiber, kommen die direkt auf euch zu? Habt ihr da auch schon mal direkten Kontakt? Gibt es da Tendenzen zu sagen, ja, hier müssen wir mal Standardlösungen schaffen, also wir müssen doch mal weg von diesen 800 verschiedenen. Wie ist da euer Ansatz? Oder was gibt es da für Möglichkeiten?
Ja, da sehen wir eigentlich keine Möglichkeit, weil nochmal, es müssten alle Energieversorger ihre THBs gleichziehen. Das tun sie nicht. Also das wird vermutlich nicht passieren. Das heißt, also die Anbindung nach oben, das ist standardisiert. Also wenn wir hier sehen, von der Fernwegtechnik, die Anbindung zu den Energieversorgern ist, ich sage jetzt mal, zu 95% standardisiert. Da fahren wir standardisierte Protokolle, die wir schon immer fahren, weil diese Protokolle eigentlich in einem Stadtwerk schon gang und gäbe und schon viele Jahre vorhanden sind. Weil ja Fernwegtechnik in dem Bereich von Umspannwerken, Trafostationen, aber auch im Bereich Wasser, Hochbehälteranlagen immer schon vorhanden waren. Und das sind die klassischen Anbindungen zu einem Leitsystem und die bestehen. Die sind festgelegt. Die Anbindung auch nach unten, die Modbus-Ankopplung, das ist auch schon ein Standard, der sich etabliert hat. Dazu kommt jetzt auch noch MQTT. Das heißt, diese Kopplungen sind auch standardisiert, aber das, was empfangen wird und dann nach oben übertragen wird, das ist immer unterschiedlich, bei jedem Energieversorger anders, weil die THBs anders sind. Das heißt also, die Kopplung, Modbus, die können wir mit euch realisieren, gar kein Thema, aber das Register muss natürlich angepasst werden, was der jeweilige Energieversorger benötigt.
Ja, genau, das war jetzt nochmal das, wo ich drauf hinaus wollte. Also unser System kommuniziert ja mit der Ladeinfrastruktur über einen offenen Standard, das sogenannte OCPP-Protokoll. Und wir arbeiten ja jetzt eng zusammen. Und das Ziel ist es ja, zu eurem System praktisch eine Schnittstelle zu schaffen über MQTT, die wir als Standard ja eigentlich für jeden Verteilnetzbetreiber anwenden können. Ja, ob dann jeweils alle Daten hier durchgereicht werden oder genutzt werden pro Verteilnetzbetreiber, ist mal eine andere Sache. Aber zumindest sind die Schnittstellen dafür da und können dann pro Verteilnetzbetreiber so angepasst werden. Das würde doch schon einen großen Schritt nach vorne machen, um zumindest für Ladeinfrastrukturhersteller mal eine Lösung zu bieten, wo man sich nicht mit jedem Verteilnetzbetreiber auseinandersetzen muss.
Also wichtig ist für jeden Ladeinfrastrukturanbieter, er muss diese Schnittstellen haben. So wie ihr das habt, Modbus, MQTT, das ist wirklich sehr, sehr wichtig, weil sonst kommt man eigentlich nicht weiter. Zumindest mal in Deutschland und in Österreich. Da kennen wir uns ein bisschen aus. Deswegen in diesen zwei Bereichen, da kommt man ohne MQTT oder Modbus nicht weiter. Die Schnittstellen nach oben kümmert sich immer der Fernweganbieter. In dem Fall dann hier.
Ja, das klingt doch schon mal vielversprechend. Ich glaube, dass wir da auch eine gute Lösung haben, mit euch zusammen, gemeinsam da mal einen Schritt nach vorne zu machen, um da ein bisschen die Dinge gerade zu rücken oder zumindest unseren Kunden zu helfen, eine vernünftige Lösung zu haben. Ich möchte mal so ein bisschen einen Blick in die Zukunft. Jetzt, also Wirkleistungssteuerung, klar, Blindleistungssteuerung, auch klar. Was wird da in Zukunft noch auf uns zukommen im Bereich Integration ins Netz?
Ja. Also wir sehen vielleicht noch die Frequenz. Das heißt, nach Frequenz zu steuern, F nach P, dass das vielleicht in Zukunft noch dazu kommen wird. Momentan ist die Vorgabe in dem Bereich noch nicht so wichtig. Momentan wird immer nur P vorgegeben. Aber das wird sich auch noch ändern. Q wird in Zukunft kommen, definitiv. Und F wird vermutlich noch, also Cosinus Phi wird dann vielleicht noch, Frequenz wird dann in Zukunft auch noch dazu kommen. Ja.
Ja, prima. Ich denke mal, da haben wir vielleicht mal ein paar Fragen beantwortet. Falls hier noch Fragen aus dem Publikum sind, bitte gerne irgendwelche Fragen. Ansonsten denke ich mal, wären wir durch. Haben wir Fragen? Nein? Okay. Dann bedanke ich mich bei dir. Super nett. Ich freue mich auf die Zusammenarbeit mit euch und ja, noch einen schönen Tag auf der Messe.
Dankeschön.
Ist ja genauso heiß wie gestern. Ne?
Genau.
Okay. Tschüss.
And that's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed the series of short interviews. Power2Drive really highlighted some exciting trends. First, DC is becoming the standard, offering CPOs a wide range of choices. Second, ultra-fast charging and megawatt charging are really ramping up. Third, battery storage, whether integrated into a DC charger or not, is gaining momentum in the e-mobility space. These trends align perfectly with our offerings, so we're thrilled here at Flexecharge. I hope you found the Tech Talks insightful. There will be more of those in the future, both live and online, so stay tuned. Remember to review and share this podcast within your network. Until the next time, take care, drive safely.